Thanks for tuning into the FATT Show. I'm Dee.
I'm Kevin.
And the FATT Show is football all the time. We talk NFL, we talk college football, Pac-12, and today it is the Stanford Cardinal recruiting class of 2017, which, Kevin, was a fantastic recruiting class, ranked 14th nationally, number 2 in the Pac-12. Just overall a fantastic recruiting class, and I'm just really excited to talk about these guys. But first of all, let's talk about how they did last year and where they're going.
Yeah, when I think about Stanford, I think about these. Of course, you put them on, you become smarter. So looking at Stanford here, we see a 10-3 overall record. This is something they did in 2016, 12th final poll, 12th in college football, which to me is a surprise. When you're talking about bringing somebody like Christian McCaffrey, who broke all-purpose yardage the previous year, breaking Barry Sanders' record, to me, the Heisman winner should have been in 2015. But again, they bring him back, hoping there would be some continuation of that within the offense of Stanford. But you lose Christian McCaffrey, a huge loss, D.
Yeah,
a huge loss.
Going in the first round for sure.
Oh, easy in the NFL.
The NFL draft, yeah.
Right.
Excellent running back.
Yeah, and you see that they bring back a quarterback in Keller Christ. This is a quarterback, to me, a statue of a quarterback. 6'5", 233 pounds. Again, and what I find interesting about this is now a senior, his senior year. So you look at the likes of Andrew Luck, Hogan, and now Keller Christ, who now, to me, David Shaw has kept this lineage of good quarterbacks within the Stanford system and the offense. 56% completion percentage, 133.8 passer rating. And to me, I like this quarterback because he is coming back, especially in David Shaw's system, and a quarterback that not only can throw, but we've seen also, too, we're going to talk about on the rush. So we talk about rushing. Cameron Scarlett's coming back. He'll be a junior. Average yardage was 3.1 yards. And then we mentioned the quarterback, Keller Christ, who 3.9 yards average yardage. And so this is a guy that can, again, throw the ball and run. And so it provides, to me, somewhat David Shaw can use somewhat maybe a spread type attack, but power attack, 1-2 punch, is what I always say is an important piece to your offense.
Well,
so
you can keep them guessing, really, is
Right.
what you can do. So if you need the run, you can have the quarterback tuck and run. Obviously you don't want to have to do that very often. You can get hurt as a quarterback if you're running a lot. But he's big and strong and tall. And so, you might want to take the chance on that every so often.
You do, and so then I look at also the defense and what the defense was able to do last year. Again, being ranked total 12th in the poll, and being 3rd in the Pac-12 North behind Washington State. This is a team that's lost a little bit of their defense, and they're bringing back now 3 key characters in their lineup. One, Solomon Thomas, a defensive end, who had about 40 total tackles last year in 2016. Then Joey Alfieri, a linebacker. So he's a senior this year, 30 total tackles. And then Justin Reed, a safety, who's a junior, who had 36 total tackles. So again, balance when you talk about that defense, and really what you can see the ingredients and the foundation, the recipe in which David Shaw tries to have for his defense. And really what we'll get into a little bit about is the recruiting aspect. What can they bring in from what they have already?
Well, and the Stanford Cardinal really likes a couple of things they like to focus on. One is in the trenches.
Right.
You got the offensive lineman, you got the defensive lineman,
Sure.
and that's really kind of been their focus, is trying to take away from what the spread offenses are doing in the Pac-12 by bulking up in the middle and trying to overpower. And so sometimes speed is negated by being stronger, bigger, more powerful. We've seen that with the championship games that the Ducks were in against some SEC teams and Ohio State one year. And then, of course, you see University of Washington last year running up against Alabama, another SEC team, bigger, stronger typically. And so Stanford Cardinal, they tend to, and David Shaw tends to go with the bigger, stronger, bulking up the middle of the field there with the offensive line and the defensive line.
It's so important when you talk about, as you mentioned about the spread offense. Because again, you have different ways of attacking the spread. One is coming off the edges, is what we saw Ohio State be very successful against the Ducks when they played in the Rose Bowl. But then you also look at also the middle part of the defense, that of the linebackers, and being able to have also to your linemen to really, if they're able to, because remember what Oregon and some of these spread offenses like to run, it's more of a option zone read. And really what it is because, again, the quarterback keeps the ball. He eyes the linebacker. He eyes some of the linemen and even the defensive end of where that defensive end is going to commit. Are they going to commit to the ball what the quarterback has, or is it a pitch or a handoff to some extent in the spread offense? So if you can, as a defense, if you're able to come off the edges and create chaos in the backfield, a spread offense is really hard to run.
Mm-hmm. So you see that Stanford Cardinal is retooling here, and so we're going to talk a bit about a couple of their recruits. A couple that I'm really excited about. I mean, they've got some highly ranked players.
Off the ESPN 32 total, right?
Well, we're talking about 5-star recruits,
right.
Which there's only, and we talked about this before, but there's only 32 5-star athletes.
Right.
And again, that's to mirror the rounds of the draft, the first round. So you're looking at about 32 5-star athletes.
And Stanford gets what?
Like 3 of them, which,
wow.
and typically you're not going to see that many that are in a Pac-12 program. You're going to see maybe at USC you'll get a few,
SEC.
But the SEC is going to be filled
Ohio
with
State.
the 5-star recruits.
Yeah.
And Ohio State, of course. But yeah, you're looking at Alabama, even Clemson, and some of these others that are going to be getting the best of the best. Well, let's talk about 2 offensive tackles that they get. We're talking
exactly,
which we were talking about with the middle of that field and really the controlling the line of scrimmage. It really is I see David Shaw's ultimate goal here is let's control the line of scrimmage. And with this, we've got Foster Sorrell, which is a kid that's 6 foot. Almost 6'7", 6 foot 6.5 inches, 311 pounds, 5-star athlete, ranked number 5 overall nationally, around in there, 5, somewhere 4 or 5. 6.
Interesting that they pull him out of Washington, the state of Washington, where that's Husky country, Washington State.
Yeah,
right?
And according to him, his dream school, even back in 7th grade, was the Stanford Cardinal, and he has not wavered from that since.
Didn't we see that he wrote a letter? Actually, he wrote
a letter
of stating what school.
Stanford Cardinals, my team.
Wow.
And so
Always been.
He's fulfilling a lifelong dream of signing with the Stanford Cardinal.
Right.
And some have ranked him number 1
Wow.
overall. In fact, coming out of the Army Bowl there,
right.
All-American Bowl, basically, ranked number 1 by many entities.
And think about the teams that he had on there. He had the Notre Dame, as far as hats goes, the choices. Notre Dame, USC,
Washington, Stanford Cardinal.
Stanford Cardinal. So, yeah, quite a list.
So this kid is fulfilling his lifelong dream. I mean, you don't get a lot of chances in life to fulfill, at least a lot of people don't, of getting to fulfill your dream. And he's doing it at the University of Stanford.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a good pickup. I think the other thing is too is we have Walker Little.
Walker Little, 6'7", 315. Again, you're looking at.
I see a pattern here. I see a pattern here.
6'7", 315, somewhere in there pounds, and ranked in the top 3 of his position, number 10 overall. Just a fantastic pickup. You're looking at setting that offensive line for years to come.
And I think also too, David Shaw does a little something as far as protecting his quarterbacks. If you look at what he's done in the past with Andrew Luck, Hogan, now Keller Christ. So it's a thing of where protecting that line of scrimmage, as you mentioned, getting a chance to protect the quarterback, giving him time to throw, but then also too, let's be honest, creating holes.
Yeah, you need that, and that's what they've seen over the last couple. We've seen that over the last couple of years. Christian McCaffrey just basically running untouched all the way to the end zone time and time again.
Right.
So they're just retooling over there at Stanford. Fantastic pickups. Both of these offensive tackles are going to be fantastic for these guys.
Now, interesting about the offensive tackles, there's something to be said about, Keller Christ, who's going to be now a senior. As far as in the cupboard, they have to replenish those quarterbacks. And who do they got on the docket there?
Well, looky here. We've got the number one ranked quarterback in the entire land. Basically, from all intents and purposes, this kid, number one overall, pro-style quarterback, he's going to be coming up in a year or two just filling those shoes perfectly.
Yeah, and I like the fact that David Shaw, and I always talk about this, D, as far as what teams are doing, where are they getting their recruits? Where's the pipeline coming from? A lot of teams, they tend to go Cal. A lot of them, especially depending on the range. A lot of times you see Pac-12 schools are not able to get into the SEC country, but maybe a couple players, sprinkle in a couple players from the SEC lands. But really, a player like this, Walker Little coming out of Texas. We have a tight end coming out of Georgia. So, replacing what we've known, Kobe Fleener, some of these other tight ends of greats that have been at the Stanford Cardinal level. So, again, it's just amazing on what David Shaw's doing.
Well, and, he's been known for this, where he's controlling the lines of scrimmage and he's bringing in a quarterback. And you're looking at, if you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the nation, what school would you go to pretty much guarantee at least a chance at the NFL?
Yeah.
You're looking all the way back to Andrew Luck. All the way even back to
John Elway.
John Elway. You're looking at a lot of really great quarterbacks coming out of this school.
Right.
And Hogan, another one, is a good quarterback. And he's just following right in line, again, with choosing the school where he thinks he's going to get probably the best chance.
And why not? When you have a good offensive line that's going to protect you, what quarterback would not want to play
exactly.
in that system?
And so this kid's name is Davis Mills. He's 6'3", 192 pounds. He's obviously a five-star athlete. Again, the third five-star athlete for the Stanford Cardinal, ranked number one at his position. And Davis is, again, it looks like, for all intents and purposes, this kid is going to be a splash here in a year or two. Give him time to develop, work behind Keller Chris, learn from him.
Right.
Obviously, that's his team, Keller's team right now. But give it a year or two, and you've got, or an unfortunate injury.
May be a situation where you have to be ready.
So, so Davis Mills. And then, of course, you're talking about a tight end who is ranked, again, number one at his position. He was a four-star athlete, so he's now not too far away from a five-star athlete, as he was ranked number 36 overall, somewhere in there. Again, top 32, somewhere in there, are five-star athletes. And then after that, you're at four-star athlete.
A lot of four-star athletes.
A lot of four-star athletes. You've got a lot of them.
I've been talking defensive line, tight ends.
So he's
safeties.
basically the fourth four-star athlete off the board, ranked number one again at his position. And this Colby Parkinson, 6'7".
Now, is
228 pounds.
Is he playing defense, or is this guy really playing the tight end position?
Oh, he's playing the tight end position, and he's not an offensive lineman.
Okay.
At 6'7". So and again, 228 pounds. That's a little slim to be playing on the offensive line, but as a tight end, that's a perfect size. And a tall target, you're looking at, end zone fades somewhere in there, where a 5'10" cornerback is probably not going to defend that too often. So you're looking at, again, a five-star quarterback, two five-star offensive tackles, and one of the top-ranked tight ends in the nation coming to your program. And again, another thing that David Shaw is known for is tight ends.
Right. The packages that he runs with that offensive line, bringing in a power package. It's kind of the same thing I likened to what Texas Longhorns did last year with swoops at quarterback, running almost like this trucker-style, semi-truck steamroll your opposition over, bringing in the tight ends, so then that way, if on a 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, they need those couple yards, 3 yards, they're able to get them.
Yep. Wow. And one other one I want to talk about, just to kind of throw in, because we've been talking a lot about offense.
Yes, there are needs. There are needs.
Throw in a cornerback by the name of Paulson Adebo, 6'2", 280 pounds, ranked nationally 109, and at his position, somewhere around 14. So
Good
not
frame, good size though. I like that.
excellent. Yeah, 6'2".
Because again,
That's a tall cornerback.
Well, you're trying to battle also the receivers, and so you want somebody that's got that, Shaq Thompson, Buda Baker type of size frame. When you look at 6'2", and then again 180 pounds, that's something you can work up to about 200 pounds or 210, 215, somewhere in there.
Yeah, so this Stanford Cardinal is just retooling. I think they're going to have an excellent season coming up this next year. I don't know where you have them, Kevin, but I think somewhere around 2 or 3 again.
I have them, I think, around in the Pac-12 North around 2. I would say probably in the whole Pac-12 conference, I'm saying probably around 4 to 5, because again, you're losing somebody like Christian McCaffrey. You're now trying to, again, you got Keller Christ, and you do have Cameron Scarlett coming running back. But again, you're missing a little bit of that all-purpose yardage that you had for 2 years that dominated the Pac-12 conference. So,
well, and with an offensive line like that, you never know. You might be able to create a new star at the Stanford Cardinals. So we'll see how that plays out. They may just surprise some people and pull off a great season and maybe even take the Pac-12 North. But I do have them somewhere around 2 or 3, somewhere in there.
I mean, think about David Shaw. David Shaw comes as the head coach. Now, this is a coach that had a chance to go to the NFL and turned that down and actually came back to Stanford. So this is a coach that, to me, he's off the radar. Kind of, I would say, how he kind of likes it. Nobody's picking him to be winning the Pac-12 North. That's something that they can probably surprise some folks.
So this has been the FATT Show. I'm Dee.
Well, I'm Kevin.
And stay tuned for more entertainment coming your way.
Stay tuned. Killed it.